What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Show, and we've got a very special guest today. Introduce yourself, please.
Alright, so I am ShadowRabbit or Naya IRL, but you can see my stuff on ShadowRabbit YGO on YouTube. I make a ton of meta stuff. I do interviews with a lot of players and renowned people in the community. And yeah, I just like to inform people about like events and what's happening in the meta. So anything competitive, you can check out my channel.
Cool, loving it. Thank you for coming on. And yeah, like,
Of course, glad to be here.
I do want to know about your history, but one thing I think is really interesting that I actually want to know about as well is, and I think it's something that for a lot of people, they would have noticed, you do a huge amount of collabs. So like, I see you like do collabs with like I've seen you doing collabs with Jesse Cotton, I see you do it with D Grinder, all these kinds of people, and I think it's really cool. So before you get into kind of how you started with YouTube and stuff, just like, how did you get into like getting so many collabs, and how do you get all of these really awesome collabs? Because I think that's really cool.
I guess I just built up a name for myself because, and I'm saying this as humbly as I can, because I was flattered enough to the point where every single person I reached out to actually collabed with me. So that's kind of wild to me still, to be able to like, I don't know, build my stuff up from scratch basically, and to be able to get all of these collabs. So I'm still very appreciative of the people that come to the channel. But yeah, what I really want to do is focus the content on as much, like, to get as much info to the people as possible, because I feel like that was something that was maybe lacking in the space when I started playing. It's like when I'm looking for resources online as a player, it's something that I saw sort of a void of, and I really wanted to be the channel, the go-to person where you can find a lot of info from renowned people. And that's why I tried to reach out to as many people as possible, and I was lucky enough for them to always like hit me up back and just be glad to be there.
Yeah, and I definitely say that's a reputation you have already. Like, again, it's like, yeah, I know if it's like, if like, so I've said this before on the channel, there's not many channels that I'm subscribed to in the Yu-Gi-Oh space, but it's like yours is one of the ones definite where it's like,
Appreciate
as
it.
soon as I see a video coming out, it's like, okay, yeah, I know it's going to be something interesting. I'm going to see
Thank
some
you.
random pro players' face or something, which is quite nice. And yeah, there's not a lot of that content in the space right now, which is interesting. We'll see.
And I think as well that like, it's not only that you get these people with their voices and experience, but like the way that you like the questions that you ask like really help tease out like really good information from people. Again, like with Fabs, whenever I see one of those pop up, I always make sure I watch them, and I just think part of that is such a good job that you do with it.
Thank you.
So, linked to that, well, actually, okay, no, before I get too deep in it, can we have an intro into what was the kind of motivation for starting a channel, and also your intro into YouTube and stuff, and into Yu-Gi-Oh, sorry, and yeah.
Yeah, I started playing in 2017. So me and my husband both got into it together. We were watching GX, like a lot of people get into it through the anime, and we were just, picking up his old cards from when he was little and playing with like two piles basically, although his was better because mine wasn't even a deck, like real. So I guess I was just pissed off at losing, and I got 3 Dino structure decks because I was like, I'm gonna spend $30 and have a deck, So yeah, I got the deck, and we just stayed. Like he was pissed off that I kept beating him with dinos. So what he did was he got True Draco for his birthday.
Oh my gosh.
But
that
we
marriage
didn't know.
is still going well, is it?
Like, we didn't know the metagame even existed. We were just like, oh, this seems like a cool deck. And by coincidence, it was like the 2 top decks of the formats. So then we got into it competitively, just by mistake, kind of went to locals, and we just stayed ever since. So yeah.
So this would have been around like 2017, 2018 time.
2017 is when it happened, yeah. And then I really wanted to, like, I just enjoyed, like, the best part of my morning in 2018 was, making like a couple of beatniks and then like watching Simo on YouTube. It was just the shit. Can I curse? Sorry.
Yeah, of course.
It was really cool, and it really like inspired me to like try to do something with that. Not him necessarily, but just me enjoying watching content made me want to watch content. So yeah, and then when I started seeing, like I said before, sort of a void of something on YouTube, I felt like I know enough right now to the point where I could get all of this info out to the people, even if I'm not the most renowned player or the greatest player or like somewhere around average. Yeah, I can still get to the info and get it to the people. So that was really the entire inspiration, like I said before, to sort of fill something that I felt was missing a little, because I felt like I could do a good job and because I enjoy it just overall. And I wanted to try it, you know, and I love it. I adore it, literally.
And so kind of linked to that as well. Oh, Dan, were you about to ask something? I feel like I had something.
Yeah, I
else.
was just going to ask. It's interesting that you bring up like bringing up Simo's content, like back in those days, being like such an influence for you. Because I remember like during around that time of Yu-Gi-Oh, was around about the same time that I started getting into it competitively. And one thing that really drew me to your channel is it kind of reminds me of like the next logical step that content would have taken. Because if you guys remember, like back in like 2017, 2018, Yu-Gi-Oh YouTube was very different. There was a lot of like sort of what's going on in the meta right now. What are these, you know, what's up and coming. There wasn't as much variety content, I guess, is the right term. And would it be a fair question for me to ask that like that's an inspiration of yours, like wanting to create that level of content that you enjoyed for people of this day and age?
You put this so well. Like, I cannot speak that well English, obviously, but I just appreciated everything you said. It was really, really well put. And I agree 100%. Yeah. It's literally something you just want to, like, you see and you want to, like, improve upon, right? I was just hyped about the idea of, like, speaking to a camera and then editing a card in, like, having it pop up. And then from that little, like, inspiration, it just, I don't know, evolved and spiraled out of control to just be able to put out this type of content. Because I was just, you know, getting into it, I was like, you know, I'm so nervous, but I don't know what to talk about. And then I had my first regional win, and I was like, I'll start with that. It's going to give me, I guess, some credibility. And I knew I wanted to focus on the meta. And then it was just kind of weird to try to find your space about what you want to talk about. You know, you can't go like 5 tech cards like every single month or something.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, I need to kind of expand. It's kind of scary. Literally the second video I did, I made a video of like combos and I messed the combo up and I felt horrible, you know? And it was the second video ever. And everyone in the comments was like, are you kidding me? That's not the combo. Like, what's wrong with you? And I took the video down and I was really sad for 2 days. And then I was like, I'm gonna step it up. And the rest was history, basically. So
Love it.
Yeah, and I feel so. I was gonna say before as well, like in terms of that early journey and like being a creator, one of the things that I thought was interesting as well was that if you look at a lot of creators in their early videos, I feel like there is a, how do I say this in a diplomatic way? There is a quality issue which I haven't actually. There's a low quality issue basically that you see in a lot of creators when they first start creating videos. But interestingly enough, I'd say I feel like very early from your channel, similar to, who was it that we had? Shahhead as well. I feel like you had your branding on point, your thumbnails on point. It all seemed to go on. So it's like, did you come to YouTube and like, you already like, did you have a background in marketing? Did you get help from other people? Like, what led to you not starting off and having like 50 videos that just kind of like sucked or whatever?
Honestly, it's like a lot of it is my husband, because he is amazing at what he does. So just a little bit about him. He's a producer, like he makes beats. So he's just overall really into art and all of that. He's his mind is incredible, especially when it comes to like marketing overall, because he did all of it for his stuff already. So it was a lot of his tips and just my sort of motivation. And I knew what I wanted. And I knew that if I portray it early enough, people will fuck with me, basically. Yeah. Like, you know, you gotta put out quality stuff. And I knew it from the get-go. And for example, my husband still makes my thumbnails, and he's just amazing when it comes to that. He makes all of it. So he was that side of things, and sort of all of the, I guess, push and motivation and all of that, and a lot of ideas and stuff. And I just knew what I wanted. And it was this perfect combination of just making it happen. And of course, we knew that quality is like of utmost importance, because I wouldn't want to give out shit product, basically. So that was really the determination. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really awesome as well. Having someone in your life that's like, into that marketing stuff as well, because it's not easy. Like, I don't know if you guys know, but if you look at my thumbnell, if I don't look, because it's not good. But my thumbnails when I started were terrible, absolutely terrible. It's like I had to watch. I don't know. I mentioned the channel all the time. I had to watch like Think Media and like get advice from them on how to do thumbnails and stuff. Like, it's not an easy thing to do to make a good thumbnail. You'd think it's easy, but it's really not.
And then it's interesting because we had Tatsim on, and then the episode after we had Tatsim on, the thumbnail game went up a bit, didn't it?
I mean, it's almost like I stole and copied these thumbnails, but I didn't do that. I would never do that.
No, shout out Tatsim. He's the goat.
Legend.
But going back to what you were saying about sort of like the genesis of your channel, were there any goals that you had in mind with it? Like, was collaborating a big thing for you, like when you started out, or was it just you wanted to just get your voice out there?
On the contrary, actually, I said to myself, and I still believe that, like, you shouldn't do it quite early, because, like, very, very early, because if with a huge collab, like, I understand if the difference in subs is like very minimal, but
Yeah,
I
of course.
think you shouldn't do a huge collab very early because those people can attribute your success to them, and I don't think that's the correct move to do. So I wanted to do it on my own, 100,000%. And when I knew I was established enough also to get people on the channel, that's when I started reaching out, because I wanted me to have like just the ShadowRabbit by Geo brand to have a background before. So,
Yeah, I guess you want to feel that you're ready to like
of course.
meet the like an increased audience that like working with a higher profile
Yeah,
creator would
and
bring.
just that you're ready as a person to feature people, to like feel, okay, I'm good enough at what I do to actually invite someone on, because you're hosting them and you want them to come to a channel that knows their shit basically. So yeah, 100% I want.
Sorry, guys, had a bit of technical difficulties, but we're back. Naya was talking about how you need to have your shit together when you have collabs.
Essentially,
so,
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and I was also saying that I didn't even think about going into collabs first, because it's just something like an idea that popped into our heads like later when the channel was already going and existing. And so yeah, I just wanted to really talk about like competitive stuff, and the only logical thing to me at that point in time when I started collabing, it seemed, well, why would I be the only one speaking? Like, I did deck profiles with people also, and I also started in COVID, so I did most of it like through Discord and like with deck lists like that, and I was just like, I was like, okay, I feel like I can offer more to the people than just deck profiles. And also I was kind of crap at interviewing back then. I was just quiet, let the person speak. So I would redo all of that right now. I just didn't want to talk over them, and it was weird. So I really had to like completely change up the mindset, of being an interviewer and then talking to people. So it was an interesting transition for sure.
Yeah.
No, 100%.
Yeah, that learning how to talk to people on a video is so, like, that's funny, because I had a conversation with someone just this weekend, and they were saying how they want to be a journalist and stuff, and they're like, I think I'd be good at it, I can talk to people. And I was thinking, I don't think you'd be good at it. Like, it's not that simple. Like, it's not just you can talk to people. It's like, genuinely, it's quite hard. And then not only that, but you're just saying this now, it's like, it's when you're meeting someone for the first time and you understand as well that their time is valuable and you have to do the thing right. It's like, it's different, and you have to have things prepared. Like, if I'm just talking to a friend and there's no investment, it's so easy to just like chat to them about whatever. But it's like on the show, it's like we have to have topics prepared. We have to know what we're saying. Like, there's even certain jokes that I have in my head to run through and all of this kind of thing, because it's like, yeah, it's not straightforward. So yeah, I think it's a huge thing that a lot of people don't recognize. Like, it's not a simple thing. It's not a simple thing at all.
No, definitely not. Sort of off the back of what you were saying there, Nara, as well, before we move into maybe a little bit of different talk, I do think I like 100% agree with you in terms of you need to have your own brand before you try and get someone else involved, because like, maybe this is me coming from like a bit of a musical background as well, but I had a similar thing, like thought process, I guess, when we started doing the podcast together, Fabs. It was like, okay, we can try and just get guests straight off the bat, or we can make people like want to pay attention to us first and actually build up some of our own skills as like how to actually be an interviewer and like actually learn. Because I feel like the thing is about interviewing someone, and I'm sure that well, I'm hoping you'll agree with me with this, Naya. There's a difference between talking with someone and like having a conversation with them, if you get what I mean. Like, you can just sit there and just listen to someone talk and then you say something, but then it's different. It's just a whole different thing, I think. Like, just like going back to what Fabs was saying. Ironically, I think I've just waffled for about 2 minutes there.
No, I agree with you as well. Yeah, I was going to say, like, funny enough, so I'm not a fan. I won't say I'm not a fan, but basically, Joe Rogan podcast is the best podcast in the world in terms of success. And so a lot of the things I do, I copy him. And one of the things that he does incredibly well is that when he's interviewing someone, if I want to learn about someone, I know that's the best place to go. Because it's like you said, when some people, they talk to someone and they're just waiting to respond with what they think, and it's not connected. But you watch Joe Rogan's podcast, and it's like he can talk to someone, and for 25 minutes he'll let them talk uninterrupted. Yeah, other than saying and it's like, and then when he responds, he'll ask a question about what they're actually talking about as well, and then it gets deeper and deeper, and it just makes it so like. So if you're, I was watching the one with, I can't remember. It's one of the astrophysicists. I can't remember.
I watched that one.
Yeah, one of the astrophysicists I was talking to, and it's like the guy was
like
just
the older gentleman.
Exactly, yeah, and it's like he was just talking about like the university, is talking about the epoch and all these kind of things, and it's like this is so interesting. And Joe Rogan's not sitting there like, oh yeah, I also have opinions about the university. He was just listening, and it made it so good to listen to. And so it's like even little things like that.
Yeah, it's not just a game of pass the microphone.
100%. I appreciate Vlad TV as well. If you know him, his stuff.
I'm familiar. Yeah.
Incredible. He was one of my biggest inspirations behind my interview style. So yeah, his work is just amazing.
Yeah, defo.
100%.
But I wanted to get into another topic, which I thought was really interesting. So Phantom's YGO, he's a really awesome channel, by the way, guys. He plays Branded, and one of the things I'd say that blew him up is not recently, but he did this like series on Branded of like steps 1 to 7 of how to play Branded. It was so in depth, so well done, really cool. But he made a really interesting video. And it was about YouTube. It was basically about like starting a channel. But the really interesting thing I thought he did is he was really transparent about YouTube money and how much he makes. And it was pennies. It was generally, it was not a lot of money. But I thought it was really cool because it just put me in this mindset of this is not for most people, going into YouTube will not be a financial, like, it won't be the thing that changes your lifestyle financial wise. It won't be at all. And yet, in spite of that, we have so many creators that are working really hard. And so it's like, when you look at his channel, for example, he releases a video, like, multiple high-quality videos every week. He's not getting paid a huge amount for it, but he's still doing it. And I thought it was really interesting. So what do you think about that, guys? Like, having that willingness, and what is it like doing YouTube and also knowing that there's not a huge paycheck coming down in the post for it? Like, you're still willing to do it. What do you think about that, guys?
Naya, I'll let you tee it off actually, because I think I'm the only person here who doesn't actually run their own channel. So.
Oh, okay, fair. So yeah, I think if you get into it and you go like, "Ooh, I'm going into it to make money," then it's kind of like, "What are you doing? That's kind of cringe. Like, go away." It just doesn't make sense. I think that the money will always translate once you put out enough quality content.
Yeah.
It literally, like, to me, it makes zero sense if you are not passionate enough to like literally live and die for your channel. You cannot expect to make any type of money from it ever. I think,
100%.
And it can be like 100 euros a month or dollars or whatever, or it can be like 100,000, whatever.
Yeah.
But like if you put out enough content, I think every single time in life overall and on YouTube, consistency is key, and I think that's the only thing really that matters. It's not a huge paycheck, but if you're consistent enough and you have a certain goal in mind, or you don't set a goal, which is also cool, and you just go, you're gonna get there wherever it is that you're going, and the money will also come along, I feel like.
As well. I think even being able to have that motivation as well, like, I'll be honest, like, so I have a full-time job, and it's like, if I'm honest, my time goes to my full-time job. That's what I spend my extra days on, because that's where my money comes from. And so it's like, I have huge respect. Again, it's like, I have huge respect for creators when I think they're putting all of this work effort and being able to release a video every week. It seems easy, but it's actually not. I can confirm for you guys. Releasing the video every week, let alone every day. Oh my days! I look at people like DB Grinder releasing 3 videos a day, and it's like, you think it's easy to sit down and watch DB and talk on the camera? It's not, guys. It's not. I've tried. It's really not. So it's like, even the fact that people can do that, that's flipping insane, man. It's really, really,
Just
really good.
like the key is to not sleep, pretty much.
yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, literally just forgo sleep. Forgo sleep, even forgo like social stuff as well. Like, even going to, I used to when I went to locals, I used to always record, and there was a point when I had to tell myself, like, genuinely speaking, it's like, am I committed enough to do this? And I had to accept that I'm not, because like going to locals with a camera or going to an event with a camera is very different to going one without one. It's like, you have to have a certain mindset of like, okay, I'm in networking mode. When me and Dan went to YCS London, I was really in networking mode, trying to talk to people, and it wasn't easy, guys. It's not fun. Like,
it's
just
totally different. Like, just on the back of what you were saying there, Fabs, about it can be completely different going to an event in networking mode and in like playing mode. Like when Sanctum Squad was still around, like obviously like the vlogs and the event coverage is part of the thing that we did. So like at the events in Dudley, there's so many things in our Google Drive of like just unfinished vlogs. Like I'd go to the store, we'd be on recording mode. Like I'm like, oh, I want to be playing, but actually like I'm setting up a camera and this and that and the other, and like. It's such a completely different vibe, and you do have to sort of take a step back and I think be like, okay, am I going to locals to make content? Am I going to an event to play? Like, and some people can balance that, but it is very hard, I think.
Yeah, you have to really know like what it is you're doing all this for. Like,
100%.
Technically, I have a YouTube channel where I post content about this game, but I basically never do because it's not a thing for me that really is like something that I feel like I need to do all the time. It's not like there's people depending on me putting videos out or anything. It's just if I come across something cool, some kind of combo that's cool, I make a video out of it and that's it really. But like it's an outlet for me if something happens to happen. It's not a it's not the thing that's going to make the difference for me. And like if I was there all the time trying to be like, well, how can I make another FTK? Then like that I'd lose the fun of it as well.
100%.
That's another big point as well, I think, and this is something that so many different creative people talk to me about it. And just to back up Naya's initial point, it's like if you're going into it with the mentality it's a job, it's going to feel like a job. Like you need to go in there with the love first and foremost, and then anything that comes with it. I hate to say it, I feel like it's kind of a bonus.
100%. Yeah, it's also because I don't know if, well, I'm sure you guys have all experienced this, and this is going to lead into my next question actually. But people can be not nice on the internet. It turns out, yeah, people can be very not nice. They can say certain things to you. They can, I know, right, Dad? It's crazy. Yeah, and so it's like when you, I can tell you that sometimes you'll spend a long time on a video and you think, guys, this is it. I've cracked it. This is such a good video. And then you release it, and then not only does no one watch it, but like the only comment is like, hey, I couldn't hear you very well. This is kind of crap. That was like the only comment. It's like, oh my gosh, like my self-esteem, man. Like I have thick skin, but there's been comments on my videos. Like I delete rude comments on my videos, by the way. If you try and roast me, it won't see the light of day. I'll finish you. But
that's where all my comments have gone.
But like people say stuff and it's like, oh my days, like that's just mean. Like why are you like this? But yeah, so similarly, Naya and Jacob as well, have you guys experienced this? Have you guys had give us some stories?
Dude, I have some weird ones. I leave all of them. And also like overall sometimes I will get sort of like it would sting a bit. But I'm kind of okay. I was bullied a lot, and it's like it's a thing where whatever you say to me is not something someone hasn't already said to me at least once in my life. So it's like get to the back of the line. It's whatever, I just don't even. Some of the I guess gems in there is someone said to me, someone asked me if I needed dental insurance because my teeth is fucking huge, right?
Oh my gosh.
But it's like, yeah, man, my teeth is huge. Like, leave me alone. It's cool, right? Just leave me be. I like my teeth. And someone asked if I was, another one, that's my personal favorite. Someone asked me if I was an albino.
Oh my days.
So that was like,
oh my days.
Yeah. I was like, dude, no, like literally have green eyes and I dye my hair. So no, I'm a ginger though, but like I'm not an albino.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a couple of those. But yeah, overall what she said was really cool. It just have thick skin, but kinda like it's also why do it? Even if we have thick skin, it's like why do you have to? It's kinda like very redundant in life. To put someone down, I think it says a lot about you. So that's pretty much where I leave it. Just because at the end of the day, when I'm done watching a video, I'm gonna go live my life, which I like, and they're gonna just be them, which they hate. So it's like, I don't really care, Yeah,
100%. What about you, Jacob?
I wouldn't say that like I've really had anything from my work in this space anyway, because like I don't even bother advertising my videos. They don't really get any views, except for the one that did. But
the Zushin Turbo
the
combo that
Zushin,
got like 27,000 views or something stupid.
Somehow. But then in like sort of content I do in other spaces, like I I joined a podcast that is to do with sport, and it and like we like just follow like one specific team, and we just talk about one team specifically. And the podcast isn't, or the podcast is controversial amongst the fans of our team because we come at it from a specific angle that a lot of people don't like. And it was interesting sort of coming into that where it was already the norm and there was a lot of hate that would be directed that way, and you just sort of had to realize, well, these people don't really matter because like they're not actually our audience. Our audience are the people who want to listen to us talk about a football team from one particular point of view, and these other people, if they're never going to be receptive to it, they're not going to really give you anything useful from it. And like the personal stuff isn't fun, even if it is like someone at the end of a computer. It's not. It isn't fun. But like, again, I have very similar experiences to Naya about like I was bullied a lot, and like it's not stuff that I haven't had worse before, and I'm never going to meet these people, so you just have to. Yeah,
that's the big thing, to be fair. Like, because I had it a little bit when Sanctum was like still really a thing, because I was in charge of the like the social and stuff like that, so I get the comments come through. People would make comments like, "Oh, like what's like misgendering," and like, "Oh, why is them painting the nose gay?" First of all, like, why would that even matter if I was? Second of all, like, cry about it. Like, but there were definitely phases that I had where I'd just look at it and I'd just be like, "Oh, go away." But yeah, just similar kind of thing, really. I don't think I've had anything like really too bad, to be honest. But I think that's because maybe this is just me, but like when we were making YouTube videos, I'd try and make it not about me. I'd try and make it about the content, unless it was something that was specifically about, like, I don't know, say if we were doing a discussion video or something. Yeah. But like, if someone comments on, like, I don't know, say a deck profile, and they're like, "Oh, you look weird. P.S. These ratios are bad." I'm going to be more annoyed that he was worried about the ratios.
Yeah, I got you.
Maybe that's weird. I don't know.
Yeah, it depends what ratios they are.
Yeah,
well,
tell.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just I can't even think. I think it was just I played Prosperity in Runic, and someone was really angry, but I topped a regional and they didn't. So.
Oh gosh. Okay. Speaking of tops, guys, Euros just happened, and look. Oh my gosh. Guys, guess what flipping deck we're on Euros? Okay, so now I'm going to give you a bit of background.
Favourite deck.
Yeah, look, I don't like Rika. I think that deck is terrible. I say it all the time. I think it's so bad. I just think really good people play it. And I think Euros proved my point. I don't know if everyone will agree, but yeah, Rika won Euros, guys. And
for the second year in a row.
That's what's so bad.
The same person built it.
Yeah, like,
yes.
Do you know what's so bad about it as well? Like, Rika won Euros, and it's like, it ran for the second year, and it's like the first time a deck wins, you would expect that it's like, okay, now everyone knows what the deck does. People still don't know what Rika does now, guys. No one knows what it does. It's mad. Jess had an insane like journey throughout the whole thing. Like, if you guys watched the stream, yeah, I remember I went to Euros as well, and me and Melly were in the bar, and we were just like watching the stream as we were in the bar. I remember watching her game against Labyrinth, and like her having Duster for 5 hours.
That was incredible.
Oh my god, she had Duster, and it's like he's just like, yeah, I lost. He didn't even give a
shout out to Juho, by the way. He took that loss like a champ.
Yeah, I think he was just happy. He was laughing. He was like, oh, yeah.
He was like, I don't care.
The funny thing is, if you looked at Jess's hand,
it was fucked.
Yeah,
Shit.
It wasn't that good.
Horrible.
Like,
it
was like what
maybe
was it? It was potentially full combo next turn, basically. But even that, it wasn't even that good a hand. But yeah, Duster for 5 is quite nice against Labyrinth. So yeah, what do we think about Euros, guys? God damn, flipping Rika.
I think that this has been one of the events of all time. I don't really have a lot to say about Euros. Shout out Jess, incredible player. We've got an episode with her, watch it. Yeah, really funny feature matches, a lot of game losses due to people like messing up rulings on stream. Seemed like a fun event. Kind of wish I went, but
yeah.
think about the game losses?
one
A lot of people were complaining about that. What's your take on them issuing game losses?
So I'm
It's-
gonna piggyback on that as well. Jacob, you had a really interesting question to do with that. Can you ask that question and we'll discuss it because it's linked to what you just said, Niall.
Well, basically, I saw someone somewhere. I don't know if it was Twitter or YouTube or where it was, but someone said, should the penalties that people have be like taken away between Swiss and Top Cut, and like everyone goes back to like a blank slate going into Top Cut, so things like this don't happen? And I mean, personally, I don't know, like, because at the end of the day, those rules are there to try and encourage people to stop making the same mistakes all the way throughout the tournament. And like, it seems like, why should it be Top Cut that you would like no longer have that by? Why wouldn't it be the start of day two? Why wouldn't it be at whatever point? And also, like, if someone is making these mistakes repeatedly or whatever, you want them to stop.
Yeah, it's such a hard question. So my opinion about kind of the mistakes is it's kind of shitty. It doesn't make for a good viewing experience. Like, just suddenly the game ends and it's like, oh well, now he lost this. Yeah, this is a bit crap. But from the context of the person who, especially the opponent, that's fair. All right, you get it. It's like, you made a mistake, there is a penalty. It's not like they've just been really strict. That's how the game works. And so I genuinely, like, it's when Jacob mentioned this, I genuinely was stumped in terms of my answer. I don't know if it should be reset, honestly. I really don't know because I'm such in two minds. But I would say it does make for a shitty viewing experience. It was a bit anticlimactic. Like, genuinely, I remember we were watching, and then the game, I think I went down to, like, piss or something. I went to, like, into the toilet to, like, piss, came back, the game's over, and Josh was like, oh, he got a game loss. And it's like, what? Like, yeah, it's so weird. So I don't know. I think it's a bit I think it's also a bit peak if you're the player yourself in Top Cut, because playing on stream, I've never played on stream. Has anyone here played on stream before?
Oh.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, like a shitty local stream.
But it's like playing on stream, I'm sure it's
No,
nerve-wracking, right? Like, I misplay when I'm playing in the comfort of my house in my shorts on DB. I misplay then, let alone on stream for the whole world to watch at YCS. So it's like, yeah, like, I don't know. I really don't know, guys.
I just think it's gonna be a two-time offense, and then they're out basically with a game loss.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good thing, actually. So yeah.
Yeah.
There's this running narrative that a lot of top players cheat, and I want to know what you guys think. What do you guys think? Do you think loads of top players cheat? What do you guys? I hear it a lot. Yeah. What do you think, guys?
I think it's naive to think that there are people who don't cheat with the intention to win, but I don't think that players who have done incredible things with this game have used illegitimate means to do so. For the main part of it. I don't know enough about how you would even go about cheating at a top level, like, you know, the weird stacking or whatever. Like,
I know Simon. He showed me how to do it, guys. I know exactly what I'm doing in my next event.
But yeah, for legal purposes, that's a joke. Don't ban cards. But no, going back to what I was saying.
No, mate, I'm not in this video.
It's okay. I just got Xbox Game Pass for £1, so I'll be fine if they ban me.
But I think it's I think it's an unfair narrative to say that all top players cheat. But I do think there are definitely players who have done well with this game who have probably cheated. But I think you can say that about any competitive game, really. Like, is it wrong to assume that there are athletes who take steroids? Like, is it wrong to assume that there are people who would use bots in, like, I don't know, Overwatch or something? But
people have literally done that in Master Duel, haven't they?
Exactly. But for a player like who, let's use the example of Joshua Schmidt, right? Like, he's a player who's done insane things in this game. Like, his resume as a player is one of the best. I think if someone was to insinuate that he got a lot of that off the back of cheating, I would consider that to be greatly insulting, because he's proven time and time again that he is incredibly accomplished at this game. So I think that's where I stand on the whole thing, if that makes sense.
It's like a devil on my shoulder that's like saying, accuse someone of cheating for clout. That's what the devil on my shoulder is saying. Just say it. Just accuse someone.
There was this, to be fair,
You'll get banned.
Yeah, you know what? We'll allow it. We'll allow it.
Sorry, Naya, I interrupted you. Sorry, you about to say something.
No,
Yeah, go ahead.
All good. No, I wanted to say that I agree with Dan, and I think that also a lot of times there's the case of, and I think that is a fact. One of them probably is cheating. Like, not all of them are clean. It's just what's up, you know. And I'm not saying a particular person. I have no idea. It's just what I think, because the best combination in this game, at least in my opinion, is if you're a good player and a cheater. That's like. And one of them probably is, right? We've seen stuff like that happen literally on stream. You know, we have there is precedence set, basically. But I do think that for the most part, the same people consistently top because they are good. And that's just the case. Literally from talking, and I did talk to a lot of pro players, you can just talk to them and you know that they top because they're clean and because they're good. It's just what it is. And there are some rotten apples in there probably, but it's like that, you know, in every single, I guess, space.
Yeah, just to piggyback on that as well. And I remember, I'm gonna go back into the Rika history here. So I was telling these guys, like, I don't like Rika. I just thought I needed to mention it again. But I took Rika to an event to prove to people that, because people were telling me that, oh, I don't like Rika because I'm not good at it, and I really don't like that assertion, because I'm capable of disliking things, not like independent of my skill with it. But I wanted to prove that actually, and funnily enough, before Rika came out, I was a huge fan of Sun Avalon. I really liked Sun. I thought it was cool. The thing I didn't like about Sun Avalon is that I didn't like using 13 cards in my extra deck to do my turn 1. I thought that was that was not an effective strategy playing Yu-Gi-Oh! So I took Rika to an event, and when I was playing, genuinely speaking, I could have cheated so hard. I was telling my opponents, I was like, you don't know any of the effects I'm doing. I could just say shit happens and you would believe me, because Rika goes through like 50 effects on turn 1. And it's kind of linked to a case where to cheat in Yu-Gi-Oh! If we're of equal skill level, it's quite hard for me to cheat, genuinely, unless I do some magical like card shuffling. But in general, for me to cheat, most of the time when I see opportunities, because when I'm playing, I see opportunities where I could cheat. Most of the times when I see opportunities to cheat, I'm significantly better than my opponent. It's rare that I'm playing someone who's as good as me or better than me and I can cheat, because my mental is already overwhelmed as I'm trying to do my strategies and execute my combos and stuff. But it's like, if I'm a lot better than you, I know you don't know what my cards do, then I can cheat. And so I think that as well about a lot of pro players, where I think I don't think a lot of pro players cheat. I don't actually even like that mentality, which is why I brought it up. I really hate when people say it, because it's like, they can't all be cheating. That doesn't even make sense. But I also think if they're cheating, a lot of times they're probably better than their opponent anyway. They're probably going to win. They're just seeing it in their head almost like, I was going to win anyway, so I'm just pushing it further so variance doesn't hurt me. But yeah,
Sometimes what I think, sorry, oh my god, I so cut you off.
You
inspired me to say something. I just sorry.
I want to hear
finish what you were saying.
I can't lie, I've completely forgotten this. This JD's hitting me hard, so yeah, keep going.
Oh my god, sorry. No, but what I wanted to say, because it pisses me off when people say that people are cheating, and I was just felt passionate about it, so sorry I cut you off.
It's annoying, isn't it?
No, what I really hate is when people play very much by the rules, and they like enforce the rules but not shark, and then their opponents that lose because of that will call them cheaters and sharkers or whatever. And I think a lot of the misconceptions about people cheating come from that as well, because you see some top players at the top tables playing, and you can see when, for example, I don't know, I'm the top player, I'm playing against someone, I'm like, okay, please speed it up because I can see that you're slow. Okay, judge, I want a time extension. And they're very much like on point, and they're just doing all of that, but they are still within the rules because it's how it's supposed to be played. And then they win, obviously, because they're better anyway. And then the opponent gets up from the table. He's like, he was sharking me, I couldn't think, I was doing all of that. No, you weren't. And I hate it when then, like, in a week's time, they're called cheater because a random person was pissed off because they
Yeah. And funnily enough, it's like one of the things that vexes me the most is that whole phrase of sharking. I don't understand it. To me, it doesn't make sense. Like, what's sharking? What is that? Like, if you look, play correctly, it's not hard. Well, actually, no, it is hard. But it's too bad it's hard. Too bad it's hard. Just play correctly. If you make a misplay, if you make a mistake, it's like, it's not my fault that you made a mistake. That's your fault. You messed up, bro. So you get punished.
You have to own it.
Like the thing is, in locals, I don't shark, but I can tell you guys now. When it comes to an event, guys, you'll be shocked. I look. If you draw an extra card or something and then put it back, I'm calling the judge. If you summon illegally, I'm going to call the judge and get you a warning, because I'm in my right to. Because also you have to think from my perspective, it's not my fault that you messed up. I've been practicing for me it means a lot as well because I misplay a lot, and so sometimes it's like I put a huge amount of effort into not misplaying. Like I've actually worked hard to make sure I don't misplay. So it's almost like if I don't do that, it's almost like I've invalidated my efforts because I've said I'm going to spend a lot of effort to not misplay, but it's okay for you to misplay, which is not. Yeah, so it's like no, if you don't want to get shocked, play better. If you can't play better, then sounds like a you problem, to be honest. So yeah, no, 100% agree. No, I don't like this whole concept of sharking. It's nonsense. Shark away, guys. Shark away. Yeah, that's how we should play Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I agree.
As long as it's within as long as you're enforcing the rules,
what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, but again, it's like to me, it's like if you're saying something that's not in the rules, it's like it's not even sharking, then you're just cheater. But yeah, that's definitely how it should be. I'm a huge fan of it. I'm a big fan of following the rules, and I think that's when you play against a judge. Oh, it's one of the most sad things ever. Like when you play against judge, because you know they're gonna know the rulings like stellarly. So it's like you can't slip up. Like one of my boys, Liam, he's a judge, and so. Oh, like he knows my cards better than me sometimes. It's like, oh my god, I don't know what to do because it's like I think this works like this, and he's like, actually that doesn't work like that. So yeah, just go back. And he has a way of doing things as well. He'll be holding his cards. He'll be like, just hold on a second, mate, and he'll be looking at the cards for like 30 seconds, and then just like tells you, just like, okay, can I play now? And he's like, no, hold on a second, mate. Like, yeah, yeah, it's not. I like it. It's a good thing to have.
Yeah,
but, anything else on this? Well, I feel like we segued away from Jess's win. Congrats, Jess, by the way. Look, I say it all the time. Jess, I think you're awesome. I just don't like your deck. But yeah, that's what it is. Funnily enough, I did neg on it because I sold just. The thing is, I shouldn't have because as soon I knew Jess was going to top because she tops everything, but I sold my Rika cards just before, and I was like, oh, damn, like I missed out. Yeah, whatever.
Now you hate him even.
We'll say that again.
Now you hate them even more.
I know, right? Yeah, it's like now they hurt my wallet. Not only my pride, they hurt my wallet too. But yeah.
But yeah, huge congratulations to Jess. Before we move a little bit more into like the Yu-Gi-Oh side of things, I do want to give a rare shout out to Konami in the sense that obviously Jess being on stream a lot. For those people who don't know, Jess is a trans woman. There are a lot of people in the world who dislike trans people. The Konami stream moderators were on it in terms of getting rid of any negative comments that were being made about her. And if you're making negative comments, skill issue, like stay mad. Like it's like
don't feel compelled. Don't feel compelled to share your opinions. Like not everything 100%. That's in your head is so valid and useful. You don't have to say it. Like you can just show it.
Definitely. And also also this is like one of the biggest events of her life, and like this is definitely like a huge jewel in her crown. Like don't try and take that away from her because of your bigoted views. Like fuck off. Yeah, sorry, I had to get that off my chest pretty quickly.
Good job, Evan. It'll be interesting as well because I was looking at there's this picture on Zodiac of like the cards that are banned, basically the world's ban list, and Rika is at complete full power. Which is really, and like every other top deck apart from like Labyrinth and something else are like neutered. So it'll be interesting because I have a feeling OCG players don't respect Rika either. I've never seen Rika top in the OCG, so it'll be really.
I think it's literally top very recently, but like apart from that.
So it'll be interesting to see how she does there. I think she's in a good place that she can take a comfort deck to Worlds and be at full power. Yeah.
Rather than like having to come to that deck having not played it and be much less familiar with all the niche interactions and everything.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting. We'll never know.
Do you think that maybe it's going to be like very opposite, and that everyone in the OCG is also gonna see that Rika is unhit, and then all of them are gonna prepare for it? Because it's still like if I was in OCG, it's what I would be doing, you know.
So. I just the only reason I don't think so is just because people are. I don't know what it is about Rika that people refuse to respect it. Like genuinely, like it's been 2 years. Like
I think it's because the only people who play it in the public eye are like players who are known to be incredibly proficient at the game. Full stop.
It's Jess and the Disciples, and then there's no like there's like Jess, the Disciples, and like 3 other people every event. That's it. There's no one else who plays that. I don't think the OCG guys will respect it either. I don't know why they won't. I don't know. In NA, do you guys know? In NA, does Rika top? Because in Euros, we can.
You get like one. You get like one, but it's like they never. It's never like as high profile as it is over here. It seems like they. Yeah. And sometimes I think that as well can be almost like by accident as well. There was, and I'd never mean to be like mean about anyone, but like the 250th YCS they had in NA, there was one Rika topping, but like the list was like
Not optimal.
it played like every Rika
that
card.
was weird as fuck. It was
Yeah,
so
it played like every Rika card, like ones that have never seen play ever, and like sometimes like you have a lucky run.
I mean, let's be fair. The deck is a bag full of bricks anyway, though.
Well, in your
Why
opinion,
make it worse? Though?
Okay, true. You know, one thing Jess did, which was sick, which I was so confused why not, is she played Small World, which made so much sense. Like, I don't know why I hadn't seen Rika list of Small World before. I was having a discussion. There's one guy who plays Rika at our locals, and I was having a discussion with him, and I was like, Small World, and he's like, oh no one really plays that. I was thinking, why not? Like, when we had Circular and Mathmic, we did this shit. Why don't we do it in Rika as well? This card's like cracked. Like, search my one card combo.
when it was just Sun Avalon before Rika, the Rika stuff came out in Pope, people did, but that's when it was literally like the only play you had was Loki, like the only play, and there were obviously like lots of different ways to get to it. But Small World was pretty nice because then people would do things like play one Lava God and one Pancratops, which A were like bridges, and B made Small World better go in second as well. But then like once they got different lines of play,
They just stopped playing.
obviously people were doing different things and it fell out of favour.
Yeah, that card. Small World is such an insane card. Like, it's so weird how, like, I don't know why that card's not more popular in more decks. Well, no, I know why it's not more popular in more decks, because the top decks tend to not need it, and then the decks that need it tend to be not as good, like DDD and stuff like that. But I just think it's so cool. Like, when I'm playing with Small World, I have so much fun trying to find bridges and shit in my deck. Like, there's been so many times where I activate Small World, I have no idea what I'm doing, guys. It's like, activate Small World, I don't know if I can even search what I want, but I'm gonna try it. And then it's like I'm like looking through my deck, like, this works. It's like, oh shit, it works. Yeah, I think that card's awesome, man. It's a really, really cool card. I want more cards like that in Yu-Gi-Oh.
But I think we've had enough disrespect for Rika. So on the subject of disrespect, Fabs, you went Euros. How was your experience?
God damn.
Not to put you in the spotlight.
Netherlands has the best KFC ever, guys. That was my experience of Euros. That's my conclusion. Netherlands KFC is absolutely.
We went as well, and the last time Euros was in 2019. It was in Utrecht as well.
Yeah,
and yeah.
It was
really good.
like I was gonna. Nah, is this like a Europe thing that you? Because when I went to Poland recently, and their KFC was just like okay, it wasn't anything special, but genuinely Netherlands was sick. Is this like a Europe thing where it's like your KFC is just better than the UK's one?
Dude, I don't know for here. We don't even have KFC. Like I said, I'm from Slovenia, so you know. But our McDonald's is 100 times better. We have and it is. I think it does depend on the country.
Yeah.
We have like chickens in like this particular place, and they ship it to the places, to the McDonald's places in Slovenia, and we have better McDonald's 100%. So yeah, it's a flex.
I've seen, like, I don't know why UK's McDonald's is so like basic that you go to other countries and like they just have options and stuff. Like I remember when I went to Italy, their desserts were insane. They had bare things. When we went to France, they had like loads of they had like the Grand Big Mac and all of this, and it was sick. Went to Poland, they had bare stuff in theirs, and then it's like you come here, we have Big Mac, Big Tasty. Oh, you have the double quarter pounder, guys.
We have like the basic shit, but it does taste better.
Yeah. So the KFC was really good. Euros was terrible. Fucking hell. God damn.
What happened?
Okay, look, let me be real. Before I start this one, I need another drink. So give me like 5 seconds, just.
So like, just to give you an idea, I was talking to Fabs on the Sunday, and he was saying that I was like, oh, where are you? Like, you're not at the event, and he was like, nah, I'm in a bar. I was like, oh, okay, so like, you didn't make day 2 then, and he was like, bro, day 2 was not on the cards.
So, how did my Euros journey start? At the beginning of the month, there were 3 decks I wanted to play. One of them was Branded, one of them was Dragon Link, and one of them was Rescue Ace. Now, Rescue Ace, unfortunately, does not get the support it needs until Dune. And so, as much as I wanted to take it, the thing that really slapped me in the face and made me take my life seriously was like, I went to locals and I almost lost to Zombies or Rescue Ace. And when I say zombies, by the way, this is like Zombie Master and Pyramid Turtle. This is not like this is like 2013. Yeah. And like, that was what told me that, look, Simeon, like, apply wisdom as you're spending £300 to go to Utrecht. It doesn't make sense to take Rescue Ace. So I was like, okay, Rescue Ace is out. Dragon Link I wanted to play, but Lubellion on its own is like 60 quid each. And I was like, what the heck? Like, I think Dragon Link was such a good pick, and I had a great build. I remember like the week before Euros, me and my mate had been testing, like I was wrapping him up with Dragon Link. But I was like, I don't want to spend 160 quid on just one card, especially when I know that card's getting reprinted soon. Yeah, so last I was like, Kashtira. I was like, I have a Kashtira core, sure. Took Kashtira. So I played 4 rounds. My first round, I bricked. My second round, I bricked. My third round, I didn't brick, but then it's like, it was a back and forth, and then my opponent top decked the perfect card to kill me. And I remember at the end of my third round, just being really annoyed and thinking like, I don't mind losing when I brick normally, but I think what upset me was like, this deck is like, I swear this is like the best deck or something. And it wasn't working. Like, I was like, I don't get it. Like, and when I say brick, like, Kashtira bricks are so like obnoxious. Like, I drew like Scarecrow Clash, Reich, so I was playing set rotation. I drew Scarecrow Clash, Reich Phobia, Big Bang. Big Bang was in my hand every single fucking hand. I don't know why the heck. Reich Phobia, then I draw like Ash Droplets, or not Ash, sorry, Ash Dark Rule or something. It's like, I can't even play. So that was absolutely horrible. So first day. And so, obviously, I didn't do very well on the first day. I dropped after round 4. I was like, okay, why waste my time? And then I'm in Netherlands, and I'm like, you know what? Peace out. So my mate Ahmad, he ended up topping. And my friend Josh, he stayed. So they stayed at the event. I was like, I'll go and explore and have some fun. So I went around Netherlands. I had a lychee bubble tea. That was absolutely amazing. I went to the shopping centre. There was a basketball game going outside. I don't know why. Like, there was just, randomly a basketball game outside. That was pretty cool. I went to KFC. We went to KFC 3 times in 3 days. Like, that's how good the KFC was. But, so that was my Euros experience. There was a lot of other food, a lot of non-Yu-Gi-Oh! Related things. Oh, and then on the Sunday, I came back to play Yu-Gi-Oh! I played a pod. I played 1 pod. Went into that pod, and my opponent was playing heroes, and then he Dark Angeled me, and I had 5 spells in hand. So, yeah. And it was at that point that I went to the vendors and I sold my fucking Kashtira core. I said, never again. I said, I don't want this shit. I said, I'm not involved. I don't want any of it. So that was it. I was so upset. I was like, what's going on? Like, why am I... No, he Dark Angeled me game 1. Game 2, I shifted him, but then I bricked. And so then he made Plasma, and I can't out Plasma because Kashtira can't out Plasma. I know, right? So, I sold my Kashtira core. I never liked the deck. I only took it because I thought it was the best deck, but that deck fucking sucks, bro. So
Big question.
Yeah.
Big question. Would you have done better if you played Rika?
You know what? 100%. 100%. I would have been double summoning Lokai all day. It would have been calm. And no one hand traps Lokai for some reason. Yeah. Oh, fuck it up.
What do you mean that no one hand traps Lokai? You can't.
No one hits. No one Book of Moons or like hits the Lokai for some weird reason. Yeah. But yeah, I would have done better with normal monsters, 100%. So that was my Euros experience. Yeah. Then we went to. So then on the Sunday we went to Amsterdam. It was interesting. Had a good time. Not that good time, behave guys. But yeah, we went to Amsterdam. And then I don't know what we did after that. Can't remember. Oh no, I think I'm at top, so like we're just like chilling and chatting and stuff. Went to a few bars as well, which was quite fun. But yeah, that was my Euros experience. So yeah, on to next year, guys. On to next year, we'll see what happens.
Same year's experience in Utrecht. So if it makes you feel any better, mine is literally step by step the exact same as yours almost, which is really funny. But what happened to me was my opponent dropped me from the tournament by accident.
They dropped you?
Yes.
Wait, what? That's a thing you can do?
How did they drop
I mean, you take it on the slip, and I didn't look at it because we don't have slips in Slovenia. And we just say it like aloud to the person. Okay, I won, put me in the computer. So when I was introduced to slips, I just didn't bother checking it because I was like, I take that I won, never checked it again. He dropped me because I whooped him in fucking 5 minutes, and he was really like pissed, and he said, okay, I'm a drop now. He ticked it, and I still to this day don't know if it was by accident or not.
That was 100% on purpose, and that is mad.
That's when I sold my Sky Striker cards to the vendor, so it's literally the same thing as you.
Oh my days, freaking heck, yeah. Mad.
Oh, that's like biggest nightmare stuff, that is.
God damn, yeah. That's what people were doing
real.
to, what's his name? Ben. They were doing that to Ben on Nats last year. People were dropping him. So, obviously, like, his Cossi ID got out. And so, every round, people kept on dropping him from the tournament. But I think the thing is, obviously, with the slip, it's like they've entered it into the computer. It's kind of peak. They don't want to repair for one person.
What, is this Ben Chana?
Yeah.
Orthodox, but he's been a guest, so
Yeah, yeah. So it's like they were dropping him after every single round, and it's like, yeah, that's a bit rough.
That kind of sucks.
But did you?
But you know what? He
after
topped.
Oh yeah, he topped. So good job to him. But like after they dropped you, did they like? Did you like?
No, I went back.
Yeah.
So I was at that point. I think I was at 2. So I was like, okay, I still wanna try to do well, in the first day. And I think it was like the 4th or 5th round or something. And then it happened. And at the beginning of the round, it's also weird because, like I said, I'm married and my husband also plays. So we have the same last name. Our Kasi IDs are very identical. So I thought that it was just a mistake when I wasn't on the pairings. And I went to the judge and I told him my ID and his ID. And they were like, no, he has a pair. It's all good. You dropped. And I explained it. I started crying a bit because I was just like very sad. And they were like, we're very sorry, but because there's not an uneven amount of players right now, there's no one to pair you up against. So you have to get a match loss right now, and then you can be re-entered. But at that point, I would be X3 and it wouldn't matter anyway. But another thing happened, which was even worse. A couple rounds later, they announced that for some reason, because of the number of players, people with X3 records could still top. So I could have still continued, maybe I would have lost and it wouldn't matter, but I dropped, twice for no reason.
God, your story's worse than mine. That's horrid. That's so horrible. Oh my gosh. What the heck?
Yeah. So literally on a Sunday, we just slept all day and we ordered a very expensive pizza because it was the only one in the proximity of where we were staying and it was shit.
Oh, yeah.
That's what happened.
Linked to that, Konami, I have a bone to pick with you. Water was €5 at the venue. €5 for a bottle of water. Not like a 1 litre bottle. Like bottle of water. €5.
It's wild.
Yeah, what?
I used to work at a venue. The venue sets the prices, not the company who hires it.
I blame
it's
Konami.
The madness.
Look, I wouldn't. I still blame Konami because it's their event. Yeah,
True.
It's not acceptable. Yeah, I spent a lot of money on water because the other thing as well is like if you in between rounds it's long, so it's like if you don't get water from inside the venue, you have to walk basically like 20 minutes, a 20-minute round trip to the station, go to the corner shop there where the water's quite expensive anyway because it's Europe or whatever, it's like €2, so it's better, and then walk back. Absolutely ridiculous.
Regular convenience stores, they don't even sell water that's not fizzy. Like they don't sell it.
Really?
Because we went to like a convenience store. Their grocery bags are fucking dope though. I still have one to this day. I literally carry it every single day for 4 years. It just doesn't fall apart for some reason. So yeah, good job Netherlands for that. But they don't sell stuff that's not fizzy because it would be like a waste of a material, like the bottle that's kept in. So they don't sell stuff. That just everything is fizzy for some reason, which really annoyed me because it hurts me and I couldn't drink.
Oh my god! Funny, not most people don't like. I like sparkling water. Most people don't like sparkling water.
Horrible.
So, yeah. What's the consensus? Jacob, Dan, what about you guys? What do you guys think about sparkling water?
I like it.
Yeah. Look, Jacob looks scarred.
I remember I went to Austria about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I just said I just ordered water, and then I wasn't expecting it. It's sparkling water bad enough when you're drinking it and you're expecting it, but when you're not expecting it, in your mouth just explodes. I'm not happy. I've never been happy since that day, really.
Yeah. No, I can confirm though that is one of the worst. So I only like sparkling water because I was going through like a weight loss journey, and then like sparkling water is like fake fizzy drink. So if you add cordial to it, it's like. Yeah, and I will admit, when you're expecting regular water and then that fizz hits the back of your throat, it's like,
yeah, that is a bit jarring.
You feel violated, man. It's not a pleasant experience. So yeah, I can confirm that. But okay, we're gonna go into.
Sorry. No, go ahead.
Oh wait, no. I'll let you land just because we're gonna do one more topic for our final talk. So I'll let you land and then.
No, I just wanted to say that we found a very cool underground for fried chicken place.
Oh, really?
Cool. It wasn't KFC. It was like very random in the middle of this weird looking like corridor of malls. We just went there and they were selling like huge, fucking delicious fried chicken sandwiches for like very cheap, for like €2 or €3. And I was like, that's the shit. It was amazing. So yeah, I just wanted
proper boss man shop sort of thing.
Throw this out there.
All right. So guys, we're gonna into our penultimate topic. we're going to talk about the new Age of Overlord cards.
Oh, they're all broken. They're all fucked.
So it's really interesting, but I heard from a relatively reliable source that the TCG exclusive cards are either going to be a really busted archetype or really busted set of staples that are going to really heavily power creep the card. And the exact example I was given was that it would be to our current meta what Pote was to its current meta. Now, when I first heard this, I was like, how does he know? But the thing that makes me think it might be true is, looking at the Age of Overlords cards, like the Shino Bird support, guys, is insane. Like, it's actually insane. The new Snake Eye, whatever archetype, is basically, if you combine everything good about Unchained and everything good about Evil Eye, and then give it the Kashtira summoning condition, you have that archetype. Like, it's really, really good. So, what do we think, guys? Age of Overlord, it's looking like a pretty insane set moving forward.
Yeah. I mean, the Horus cards are all bonkers as well.
Yeah, Horus cards. Yeah, I'd eat those as well.
Yeah, it's looking to be Pote 2 Electric Boogaloo, I think. That's all I have to say about it, really. There's not a lot to go off at the moment, but yeah, Snake Eye looks bust, like the Shinobu Sports bust. I'm hoping for a lot more Legacy support. But yeah, I think it'll be a big set, 100%.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. What's a bit weird is that if you look at the Age of Overlord set, especially with the announcement and stuff they're dropping, normally I feel like when they announce new cards for a set, it's like you'll see shit stuff and then you'll see good stuff, then you see shit stuff and then you see good stuff. I feel like even the shit stuff, like they dropped a bonfire card today, and it's basically like Pot of Avarice for fire monsters, and it's like even the shit stuff looks pretty good. So I'm interested to see, is Konami just saying that, you know what, guys, fuck it, we're going back, we want every deck to be TR? Or
they're just going mask off in it.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really interesting to see what happens. Yeah, I'll be quite shocked.
I guess part of it is like, if a lot of the decks, not all of them, but a lot of the decks at the moment are like decks that we've had for quite a while, right? Like, because even like just below the surface, you've still got your Branded, your Sword Souls. They've been bubbling around for a long time, and if we say in a ban list to cut and we hit Kashtira more, we hit Runic more, we hit Purely more, things like that.
And then the tier 2 decks as well.
But say we don't hit those tier 2 decks, suddenly it's those decks again, which have been around for ages, and it's just like those decks don't necessarily deserve to be hit themselves, but like that would be what we'd end up playing again and again. It just like I feel like that there comes time when they do put those steps forward to move some decks out of the game. It's like having Tri Brigade and Virtual World go out of the game after them being around for ages and things like that.
Yeah.
The cards a lot. I just literally put them up right now, so just to be part of the conversation. But from what I'm looking at, it looks kind of cool, and I really like your point about how, you know, you have to bring new stuff in because we're at a point in time where everything is old enough to the point where they have to hit every deck. So if you don't hit, like Branded, for example, if you hit everything, leave Branded is gonna be the best deck. So they have to give us new cards. And I feel like it's sort of like, I always say that they work themselves into a shoot with that one. They literally back themselves up into a corner. It's like we have to print new cards because we keep printing busted cards. So the next set has to be even better and the next one has to be even better. And I think that's just the case of it. But a lot of times they want to circle back to the old archetypes to give them support as well. Like you mentioned, the Shinobi stuff and like the fire stuff that I'm looking at. Because they're like, okay, we have those cards released already. Let's just make them better. And we don't have to keep coming up with even like newer archetypes, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
100%.
Definitely.
Gosh, I'm excited, guys. I'm very excited.
I'm excited.
Good set of cards. Right. All right. We'll go into our last topic because, so, in case you guys don't know, the way I usually keep track of the time on the episode is there's a time on OBS that tells me. Then I realized that we had a crash before. So we're actually at 1 hour and 20 minutes into the episode right now, which it's longer than usual.
It's a bit of a record,
but you know what? Whatever.
I talk too much.
We go. Yeah.
Trust me, it's not a problem.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun. But we're gonna go into our last topic, which is our "Am I the Arsehole" section. So Naya, how familiar are you with "Am I the Arsehole" on Reddit?
I'm not at all. Please fill me in.
So it's a subreddit called "Am I the Arsehole?" And the idea is people post stories about something that happened, and then they ask the question, "Am I the arsehole? Am I in the wrong for doing this thing?" And then so we have a bit of a discussion, see what we think about what this person said. And today's title is, am I the asshole for locking my girlfriend inside for her own good?
We're going to need the story here, Fabs. This is a mad one.
This is a really interesting one. So, right, okay. I'm going to paraphrase because it's long. It's bare long. So, I, 22-year-old male, and my girlfriend, 21-year-old female, live together. I'm positive she has some form of ADHD. She has some form of ADHD because she is very forgetful and careless. She'll do things like leave her purse, books, phone, and at times keys in the car. She'll boil or put something on the cooker, and then she'll completely forget until the thing is burning. She always talks about how she'll get diagnosed and medicated, but never does, and she's apparently been like this her whole life. Now, one major point of contention we've been having since we moved in together is that sometimes in the middle of the night, she'll go on walks. She'll leave the house on walks and be gone for hours. We've had disagreements about this in the past about how I feel this is really dangerous and it makes me uncomfortable. She'll leave around 1 to 2 a.m. to walk around our rural neighborhood for hours at a time. Sometimes her phone is on low battery too. I don't know why she does this. She tells me that it's exercise and she enjoys the solitude, but it makes me uncomfortable as fuck. I worry about what could happen to her in the middle of the night with no one around, and she doesn't appreciate me coming with her too much. Even worse, she'll leave the back door unlocked because she still hasn't gotten her own set of house keys. So it's up to me to readmit to let her back in every few nights. So I've decided to draw the line. I've refused to unlock the back door and I've had it locked from both ends, so she's forced to use the front door for her trips. Not even she would dare to leave the front door unlocked to go gallivanting into the night, so I'm good on that end. The only thing is that she said that I'm a controlling asshole and isn't been talking to me. I don't think I am. So am I the asshole? What do we think, guys?
She needs to get on the medication. That's just the way I'm sorry. This is just very sad. This is incredible. I understand that you want to help her, but this is not the way to do it. I understand you being upset with her leaving like at the night. It's completely fair to feel like that, but also don't make her feel like a trapped dog, because that's going to make it feel that's going to make her feel worse. ADHD is something that needs to be taken seriously. It's not something that a lot of the time you can't self-medicate for it. You have to have that sort of the medical pills, well, not necessarily pills, but you get what I mean. I'm going to need a few minutes. So Jacob, why don't you tee this up?
First thing, if she doesn't have a set of keys,
that is weird, actually. Yeah, that's really weird.
The boyfriend presumably does. Why can't he make a copy of the keys?
So the excuse that he's put here is that it's basically on the to-do list and they've just never gotten around to doing it. That's the excuse he's put.
If this is such a big deal about her leaving the door unlocked at night, how is that not a priority? If that's such a big deal to you, why aren't you
It's a fair point.
Just sorting that out? Come on, mate. And and there was something else I wanted to say and I've forgotten because I was so angry about that.
So I'll let you remember and I'll sort of take it away from you. You can, when you remember, cut me off and fill us in with the rest of your thoughts. But what I think could be a resolution to this, I guess, because I look at it from my perspective, right? We live in a rural neighborhood, and over here we go on walks at night all the time.
Sure.
There is no one around, no one. Every single person is sleeping, and it's a very small town, and we're completely 100,000% safe. But I probably wouldn't feel comfortable going alone, even if I knew I wouldn't see anyone, because I'm a woman, and my husband probably wouldn't be comfortable with me leaving the house. But I am comfortable with him leaving the house if he wants to go for a walk in the middle of the night. It makes sense to me because I know he's gonna be safe, because he's a male. Literally, that's just what's up. You know, she is
the sad reality of the world, isn't it?
She needs to realize that, I think. And what could be a good compromise, I think, would be if she just takes shorter walks. She doesn't need to be gone for hours. And I'm always of the opinion that, it's not like you are in the right or you are in the right. You need to come together and reach a conclusion to all of this, or a resolution or whatever. So yeah, just make her have 20 to 30 minute walks. That can maybe work. If you know that the neighborhood is safe regardless, then she can go out, don't lock her. That's you need to figure something out about that. But just talk to her, maybe limit the duration of her walks. That might actually help. She's happy, you're happy. and she can like call you every 10 or 15 minutes or something. That would also be cool if she still wants to do it, because I understand why a person would just want to chill, and maybe she's not down to be on pills. That's also a thing.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
So if she needs to, like, at the end of the day, I think mental health is very, very important. So if there is a way for you to help her with that, if she doesn't want to be like administered or on pills, I think that could be a way, I guess, maybe. Yeah, that would be.
Yeah, maybe that was a bit naive. Me to jump the gun and say she needs to. I mean, I still think it would definitely be beneficial for her to get some sort of medical diagnosis. But yeah, like there has to be a compromise where you can reach here, 100%. Like, yeah, he's a bit. Fabs, I can see something cooking. Go through.
Okay, guys. Look, let me be real. Firstly, I'm of the very look. My opinion in general, stuff like this, is that everyone is an adult, and you should treat people like an adult. And when you're an adult, there are adult consequences to doing things. Yeah. So, I don't know if I said this, but it is actually his house. She's moved in with him, but it's his house.
No, you didn't mention that.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mention that. So she moved in with him. So they're living together. She moved in with him. In my parents' house, there was a rule: the door doesn't open after 11 p.m. That was the rule. Yeah. And so as a child, I knew that when I come home, if I'm coming after 11, it's a difficult conversation. I have to beg my dad to open the door. Not because he's crazy or evil or something, but it's like, that's the rule. And I know as I live there. If I've moved into your house and I insist on going walks at 1 to... Don't get me wrong. I mean, I personally, I can't lie. Look, I'm black, all these kind of things. I don't do walks in the forest at night. That kind of activity is not something that I personally would do myself. But I appreciate other people want to do it. But if you want to do walks at 1 to 2 a.m., that's your business. However, you also need to accept the reality that not everyone is comfortable with that. And I'm also not comfortable with my back door being open. So I don't see anything wrong with him locking the back door. If you're going to forget to close it, I'll lock it. Sorry. Because even if you're a good person, not everyone in the world is a good person. And imagine I'm in my house at 1 a.m. and my back door is open. That's not so suspicious, but whatever. Like, my back door is open at 1 to 2 a.m. It's like, what the heck? I'll be so terrified. So, firstly, I don't think he's wrong for locking the back door. Secondly, the key thing that Jacob said, I would get her a key. I would also get her a key. That doesn't make sense to me. Like, to me, I feel like I say all this time, people on Reddit are creative writers. And so I have a feeling he's not being completely honest and he doesn't want to give her a key. Because
the key sorry to cut you off. The key thing is two birds with one stone. He gets to lock the back door, and she gets to go on walks.
Yeah,
simple solution.
I guess his excuse is that she won't lock the door, but whatever. Like, he should have a key, but
he doesn't want to give it to her because then she could leave anytime she wanted.
I think that. I think that as well. But then, kind of linked to that as well, I would also say that when you move in and like have a relationship with someone, part of the reason why you're like part of the reason you move in with someone and part of the experience of moving in is learning how they are. You need to understand and accept that this is just how she is. She's not going to change. She's forgetful. She will leave the doors. She likes gallivanting at 1 to 2 a.m. Cool. So as a human being, you need to accept, is this something you can accept? If it's not something you can accept, break up. It's not that deep. It's not compulsory that you guys are together. And also, by the way, she's 21 years old. I don't know about you guys, but the Simeon of 18, the Simeon of 12, the Simeon of 18, the Simeon of 22, and the Simeon of 27 are four completely different people. Yeah. And so I would be hesitant to even move in with someone at that age because I know they're not fully developed. And even after I've moved in with them and it's like I'm living with them, if I see a behavior like this, I can't it's not something I would be willing to tolerate. Like, I wouldn't be willing to tolerate someone walking just because it's like I said, I wouldn't be comfortable with it. My girlfriend's walking at 1 to 2 a.m. I don't trust people. That 1 to 2 a.m. in the forest walking around at night. They live in a rural neighborhood. I'll be terrified. Like, what's happening? So my opinion is I don't think he's an asshole for locking the back door. I think he should have gotten a key. So I do think he's actually an asshole for that. And I think lastly that if you can't tolerate this, break up, bro. Like, something like this for me is actually a deal breaker because genuinely, like, if this is something she needs, and I'm someone as well, like, when I'm in a bad mood, I like just like being on my own and being in my own space. That's core to my identity. So something like this to me seems core to her identity. That she just likes to be alone and be in nature and all of that. So it's like, I see it as well. Like, this is something that is quite part of her. This is what she likes to do. If you can't tolerate it, bro, break up. Don't try and change her because you won't change her. Why would she change for you? There's no reason for her to change for you. So that's kind of where I sit. I don't think he's an asshole for locking her inside, because I don't think he's even locking her inside. She's just saying, "Come through the front door," and then she doesn't have a key.
Yeah, the wording on that like title is very strange.
It made it sound like he was just locking her. Yeah.
Yeah, made him sound like he was doing some madness.
Yeah, and also I guess to an extent because he doesn't want to wake up at night to get her. But again, it's just get her a key. But I don't think he wants to get a key. I don't think he will get a key.
I think it's interesting to mention that he even said even she wouldn't leave the front door unlocked. So there's clearly another thing at play here that why he doesn't want to get her a key.
Yeah, that's why I was like, yeah, it's like just get her. Like, I just don't think you don't. I just think you don't want to. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like when I moved in with my wife, like it wasn't even when we moved in. Like, as I got the key from the estate agent, I went straight to the locksmith and I printed another key. Both, me and my wife have lived in 3 different flats. That was the first thing that we did. The house is in my name. I pay for the flat, but it wasn't even a conversation. It's like because we both live here. We both. In fact, I printed 3 keys. I printed one for me, one for my wife, and then I printed a spare for my best mate. Did you get it? Like that's just the norm. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. That's what you do, right? So I don't know why she doesn't have a key. I don't know how long they've been living together. It doesn't say how long they've been living together, but I feel like if you've been living together longer than a week, I don't understand why she doesn't have a key. That just seems really weird.
Yeah, that's facts. Like when me and my wife moved into this house that we're in now, there was only 1 key. First thing we did, locksmith, bang, done.
You get a second key. Yeah, so
Bang the locksmith.
Well, maybe that's a bit of a conversation for the post show. But,
yeah. Oh, we got guys. Look, the post show. We've got a good post show coming up. So
100%. But yeah, that was very interesting. Am I the arsehole? Does anyone have any closing thoughts on that?
I have a question. I'm sorry because it's been on my mind. Naya, what's on your wrist? You have writing on your wrist. I've been seeing writing on your wrist all episode. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my husband's name, but the font and the dot and the color are of Kendrick Lamar's Damn album. If you know what Damn looks.
Hard. It's quite
on
sick.
the cover.
Yes.
Yeah, that was my first tattoo I got when I turned 18, and then we got married about a month later. So.
That's kind of epic. I can't lie.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Also. Guys, look, that has been the Yu-Gi-Oh show. I don't know what the heck episode this is. It's a Yu-Gi-Oh show episode. It's been pretty good.
43, I want to say.
Yeah.
I want to say
43, 40 something, guys. And actually, before we wrap up, we've got, just as a quick update, we are going to be ending this season of the Yu-Gi-Oh show soon, but don't worry, we'll be back for a 3rd season. When we do end this season, what would be really helpful is if you have a specific guest or specific person you want to come on the show, if you want to see a specific thing, let us know. Put it in the comments, put it in the chat, tweet at us. It'll be really, really helpful. So yeah, guys, keep out for that. We've got, I think, 7 episodes left of this season, and we've got a lot of awesome guests coming. And yeah, just let us know what you want, and it'll definitely be there for next season. But Naya, before we sign off, do you have anything you'd like to say? Any shout-outs, anything like that?
I just want to thank you guys for having me. It was a really cool conversation. You know, I'm always glad to be a part of that. So I was glad when you invited me, and I really love talking about the game and about all of these topics that we discussed today. And you guys were really fun to talk to, so I appreciate that a lot. It was a really nice evening. So thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you very much for your time, Naya.
Yeah.
Of course.
So yeah, guys, we'll talk to you soon. Peace.